Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of News Dose, where we give you all of the latest gaming news. And did the price of the Xbox Series X really leak online? The internet has been buzzing all weekend long after the price of the Series X was supposedly revealed, though the question is it actually true? Well, stick with me and we will discuss that. And also, you know how Zelda's 35th anniversary is next year? Yeah, so Nintendo may be planning something for the Zelda franchise, as a big Zelda game has appeared online. So stay tuned for that as well, but first we have plenty of other interesting topics to talk about, starting off with Flight Simulator. Earlier this month, I made a video about the Xbox Game Pass August lineup and how I thought it may possibly be the best yet. One of the big reasons for that was because of Flight Simulator will be releasing into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Well, the reviews are now coming out, and unsurprisingly, Flight Simulator is sitting comfortably at a 93 overall score on Metacritic, which actually makes it the #1 best rated PC game all year. Yeah, this is a big game, and I don't think a lot of people realize just how popular Flight Simulator actually is, but I do expect it to do very well on PC, and it has already been doing really well on Steam for that matter. It's consistently in the top 10 best-selling over on Steam, and it's not even officially out yet. But many reviewers are kind of echoing the sentiment that Flight Simulator is our first true next-generation game. I mean, this game actually looks photorealistic and takes simulation games to an entirely new level. I can't even imagine playing this game with a flight stick and a virtual reality headset. It's going to be insane. Now, with that said though, I know some console players are probably a little upset it's not on console just yet, but don't worry, Phil Spencer back in July said that this game is going to be jaw-dropping on the Xbox Series X. This again will show what next generation graphics is all about, and you do have to keep in mind that this type of game was born on PC and has a very dedicated fanbase over there. Nonetheless, Flight Simulator will eventually head over to the Xbox Series X, and big congrats to Xbox Game Studios and Asobo on making a fantastic game. Moving on though, PlayStation made a surprising announcement today as Ghost of Tsushima will be getting cooperative multiplayer DLC. Better yet, it will be completely free. Yeah, that's right, if you already own Ghost, then you won't even have to pay anything extra for the DLC. There seems to be a few different game modes here that you can play up to 2 to 4 players, with one being in an entirely different story than the campaign. Honestly, that's really awesome. Ghost of Tsushima has been a big hit with fans since it first released, and something I like to talk about is that there aren't very many complete games anymore. What I mean by that is that there aren't a lot of games that offers both a good single player as well as a good multiplayer game mode. Granted, this isn't competitive, but I still love seeing games get cooperative game modes, and because it's not the main campaign, this is a completely new experience. I mean, think about it this way, you're paying $60 for a game, and you're getting a lot of content for that money. Not only are you getting a great story, but hopefully you'll get a good cooperative experience as well that you can dive back into at no extra cost. They even talk about something like the Gears Horde mode. You also have multiple character classes, and then raids will apparently be coming after the release that puts you into a new realm. So it sounds like they're putting a lot of effort into this DLC. Could this be a game they support over time? I know it started off as a single player game, but they actually could support this over the years. I guess that depends on if it's popular or not, but this is good news all around. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. In other news, we have a few Nintendo-related topics. The Nintendo Switch appears to have outsold the Nintendo Entertainment System after only being on the market for just a little over 3 years. Yeah, the Switch is off to a very fast start, and it's on track to being one of the best-selling consoles ever made. But there it is. It has now outsold the NES, which has sold 61.91 million units a lifetime. The reason we know this is because Nintendo gave us official numbers earlier this month in a financial report, which placed the Switch at 61.44 million. Fast forward a few weeks and Famitsu sales placed the Switch at above 62 million units sold. So big congrats to Nintendo, and if you really think about how impressive this is, it's pretty incredible. Just a few short years ago, Nintendo was in a very bad place after an abysmal failure from the Wii U. But they turned things around in a big way. Now the Switch is officially the second best-selling Nintendo home console, with only the Nintendo Wii ahead at 101 million. I'm pretty sure it is going to pass the Wii eventually though, because I just see more staying power with the Switch. It's well deserved too. Not only is the Switch a brilliant design with its hybrid handheld console design, but they have also put out some great games this generation, including Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and the latest, Animal Crossing New Horizons, which actually leads me to our next topic. A big Zelda game appeared online over the weekend, and this one is pretty exciting. Zelda Skyward Sword out of nowhere got an Amazon UK listing. Now this could mean nothing, and I can't rule that out completely, but I think this may actually have a chance of happening. Zelda's 35th anniversary is in 2021, and there has been a lot of Zelda trademarks filed here recently. This does make it sound like Nintendo is preparing something big for Zelda on its 35th anniversary, which is kind of similar to what they're doing with Mario's 35th anniversary. We have seen new Mario merchandise this year from companies like Legos, and even though it hasn't officially been announced yet, it's pretty much confirmed that there will be a 3D Mario Anniversary collection of sorts to be released on the Switch sometime in 2020. So could they be planning to do something similar with Zelda next year? They could release some new merchandise, release some remasters and re-releases of games like Skyward Sword, and then end the year with a big game like Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty good anniversary for Zelda, and personally, I would like to see Skyward Sword get a re-release. The original was of course centered around the Wii Motion Plus, so it would be interesting to see it get a re-release that focuses on a more traditional style controller. I mean, technically the Switch has motion controls still, but I would hope they would give it a more traditional control scheme considering many would be playing in a handheld mode. Also keep in mind that Ocarina of Time recently got a new trademark as well, and we talked about that just a few weeks ago. So this just adds more fuel to the fire that this could actually be happening. I will ask you though, if Nintendo really does do some Zelda re-releases, what would you like to see return? Personally, I would like to see some of the top-down Zelda games come back like Link Between Worlds, the Oracle games, and Minish Cap. I've always had a soft spot for top-down Zelda games, but I'd also be more than happy to get some of those big 3D Zelda games as well. Let me know what you would like to see though. Now we do have one last quick Nintendo topic, as there will be a new Nintendo Direct tomorrow. This is an indie Direct though, so don't expect big first-party Nintendo games to show up here, but with that said, I think we could see some exciting games here. The Nintendo Switch is a perfect console for independent games, and they perform really well in there too. Because it is an indie Direct though, expect a lot of surprises, but hey, maybe we finally get some details on Silksong. In my opinion, Hollow Knight is one of the best Metroidvania games of all time, so I'm very excited to hear more about the follow-up, Silksong. This Direct will air tomorrow on August 18th at 12 noon Eastern Time, and it will be roughly 20 minutes long. So hopefully we get some cool announcements there. Now onto some Xbox news, because over the weekend, the internet exploded when rumors started popping up that the Xbox Series X retail price will be $600. Yeah, that is quite the high price, but is it actually true? Well, let's see how this rumor originated first. So Monster Energy is doing a promo for the Xbox Series X and Halo Infinite. There will be 200 first place winners, and the prizes will be the Xbox Series X and Halo Infinite that Monster Energy claims is worth roughly $20,000. So fans looked at this and started doing the math, and if you divide 20,000 by 200, it comes out to being $600. So does that mean the Series X is $600? Keep in mind though that Halo Infinite will also likely be $60, so that would actually take the price of the Series X down to $540, so I don't really know why people are claiming $600 from this alone, but even beyond that, you have to read the fine print. So let's take a look at this. The total ARV of all first prizes is $119,998. The first prize and its manufacturing suggested retail price have not been released to market at the time of print of these official rules. Any difference between stated value and actual value will not be awarded. So there it is. Monster Energy does not actually know the price of the Xbox Series X, and that's not really surprising at all. This is just one of those rumors that spread like wildfire, and I don't think there's anything here. Both Sony and Microsoft have not revealed the price yet because they're playing a bit of a game of chicken. It's been reported by several different sources that Microsoft is looking to be very aggressive with the price, and they may even try to undercut the PlayStation 5 depending on what their price is. Then you have Sony, and they're also waiting for Microsoft to announce the price first so they can either match the Series X price or undercut them. We do know for a fact that Sony has been struggling with the PlayStation 5 price due to costly components, and there is differing opinions within the company if they want to sell the PlayStation 5 for a loss or profit right out of the gate. So I don't even think that Microsoft and Sony themselves knows exactly what the price of each console will be. So retailers and partners such as Monster Energy is definitely not going to know this either. And that was something else that happened this weekend. Alana Pierce claimed that somebody sent her an internal retailer price of the Series X, and it was $600. Now, I do believe that Alana is telling the truth. That is what she saw. But does that retailer actually know the price? No, absolutely not. Retailers don't tend to know the price until the announcement, or at the earliest, a day before it gets announced. Right now, it's just a placeholder, and this should be known. Earlier this year, Amazon UK had the PlayStation 5 at £600, which would be $765 US. And I can say I'm pretty positive that's not going to happen either. If I were to guess a price, I would place them both at $500 unless one or the other is incredibly aggressive and undercuts the other. With that said though, I'm not going to completely rule out a $600 price tag. There is a lot of power in these consoles, especially with the Series X, so it wouldn't shock me if it does retail for $600. But the Monster Energy promo or a retailer price is not indicative of that. For now, we just have to be patient while Sony and Microsoft figures it out for themselves. I know it's frustrating because we want to know the price so we can go out and pre-order them, but Sony and Microsoft wants to get things right. We have to remember that these consoles are going to be on the market for the next 5 to 10 years, so they want a competitive advantage over the other, and pricing is incredibly important. With that said though, I will ask you, what do you think the price of each will be? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways though, that's it for this video, but if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.